Welcome back tuning into this video. It's Monday at GazWeatherViz.com, which can mean only one thing: it's Europe Day. Every Monday at GazWeatherViz, have a look at the weather for the coming week across the continent, and today is no exception. Now, if we get on with the video, just want to mention the advertising. There's video ads on my page at GazWeatherViz.com. You can hit play on the video ad. You'll be supporting GazWeatherViz.com. Thanks very much for doing that. The website we're using for the video is wetcentral.d. You can find the link to it on my links page. And thanks very much for watching the video and for keep coming back to the website. Thanks so much for doing that. There's not going to be a European Outlook next week. I'm going to be away from the website all day next Monday, and it'll mean that I haven't got time to record the video on Sunday night either. So the European Outlook will be taking the week off next week. It'll be returning on Monday, the 18th of November. So no European Outlook next week. So this is today's Arctic pressure chart from the GFS model. We've got low pressure up over Scandinavia, another area of low pressure waiting in the Atlantic, start moving in to United Kingdom and Ireland. France, the UK and Ireland actually under a very weak transient ridge of high pressure, but it won't be long before this next area of low pressure is rattling in. It's very mild in the east and southeast of Europe, bringing up these southerly winds out of the Mediterranean through Italy and many eastern and southeastern parts of the country. Also got a ridge of high pressure over the Azores, just ridging into parts of Spain and Portugal as well. Have a look at the upper air temperatures today. Well, it has turned quite cool now across much of the north and the northwest of Europe. We're in these green colours in terms of the upper air temperature. So yeah, cool air is through Ireland, United Kingdom, much of northern France, northern Germany, the Low Countries, Denmark and Scandinavia. So pretty cool. So as I say, it's very warm in the east and the southeast of Europe. Those warm southerly winds bringing the air up from the Mediterranean. It's an unsettled scene across many parts of Europe as well. We've got some snow across central and northern parts of Scandinavia. Heavy rain over Denmark and through the Baltic Sea towards northern Germany. Lots of wet weather through northern parts of Spain into France, although that will be clearing away later on in the day. You'll get that transient ridge coming through, I think, tonight and tomorrow. Through Germany, it's wet and down into much of the Mediterranean, actually the central base of the Mediterranean, seeing some heavy rain and thunderstorms through Mallorca, Minorca, Ibiza, going through to Corsica and Sardinia. Yep, some very heavy rain as well there, and into northern Italy over the Adriatic, and just flirting in towards that Adriatic coast of the Balkans. But further east than that, actually there's a lot of dry weather in the east and the southeast of Europe. The warmth is in the far south and southeast of Europe and into the some eastern countries as well. But central air is really quite chilly now, as it is out in the west and the northwest as well. Many places struggling to get into double figures now across the continent. It's still pretty warm across western parts of France and down in towards Spain and Portugal. Going through the middle of the week, well, low pressure is well and truly dominate across the north and the northwest of Europe. Lots of areas of low pressure pivoting around from the Atlantic. Some high pressure trying to bridge into Spain and Portugal, but really many parts of the continent will be unsettled through the middle of the week. Now, we're going to bring some warmer air up in towards the far south of England, and it's going to be pretty warm through many parts of France and down in towards Spain, Portugal as well, and going through the Mediterranean in towards Italy. But that said, it'll be cooling down a little bit in the southeast, and much of northern Europe is actually going to be quite cool. We're in those green colours. That is cool autumnal air. So I think autumn well and truly setting in now across many parts of the continent. This week. Upper air temperatures show that it's going to be really quite cold for parts of Scandinavia, particularly for Norway and Sweden. We've got the upper air temperature going sub-zero through the middle of the week, so there will be some snow up there. That's if there's any precipitation. That's the warm air coming into the south of England, and you notice that many western parts of Europe are actually quite mild through the middle of the week, but the north and central areas are on the cold side or on the cool side. So we've got this band of heavy rain strung out through Central Europe in towards England and Wales and going out well into the Atlantic. That's a rippling weather front strung out across many central parts of Europe. It divides the warmer air down in the south and mainly dry weather through midweek in the Mediterranean, and much colder air but sitting up over Scandinavia. And any precipitation that does fall over Scandinavia midweek will be falling as snow. So it's pretty warm in the west of Europe through the middle of the week actually. France into double figures, as is Spain and Portugal. That warmth just extending in towards the south of England, but from Midlands northwards into northern England, Scotland and Northern Ireland, it's a colder scene. As we go further east, actually it's quite a chilly scene through Germany, Poland, up in towards the northeast of Europe. It's pretty chilly there, and you can't see it, but it is really quite cold across many parts of Scandinavia, with temperatures in Norway and Sweden just 2 or 3 degrees at best. Now going through to the end of the week, well, it's still an unsettled scene in the north, and that trough, if anything, is starting to dig further southwards in some central parts of the Mediterranean as well. The ridge is beginning to weaken through the Med, but really it's the north and the northwest and through central areas that have the most of the unsettled conditions at the end of the week. Temperatures at the end of the week in terms of your upper air temperature still quite warm through the Med, but cooling off, very cool up in the north, although it's not quite as cold over Scandinavia. Actually, the cold upper air temperatures will be retreating a little bit at the end of the week over Scandinavia, but the dew points actually showing that it's going to be still quite cold there for Norway and Sweden at the end of the week, although the upper air temperatures will be coming up a little bit. Yeah, it's still going to be quite cold in terms of the dew points, so again, any precipitation coming through with these sub-zero dew points will be falling as snow. Elsewhere, pretty chilly scene really with the dew points, although quite warm down in the south. The precipitation at the end of the week, well, anything over Scandinavia is going to be falling as sleet or snow with those dew points sub-zero. Elsewhere, it's basically a lot of rain. We've got showers for Ireland and the United Kingdom, outbreaks of rain for northern parts of Portugal and Spain, extending into central France. Over the Alps, where it will be falling as snow again in southern parts of Germany. Showers or longer spells of rain, maybe some sleet mixed in parts of Denmark, and going out to the Baltic Sea as well. Mainly dry, that has to be said, pretty much of the Mediterranean and into the southeast of Europe. Temperatures at the end of the week show that it's going to be a little bit less cold through these central areas, but still temperatures just struggling up to 10, 11, 12 degrees at best. Quite mild still for France, Spain and Portugal, just extending into southern parts of England. And up in the north, you can't really see it that well, but it will still be quite cold. As we go through to next weekend, well, again, it's the same idea, but we've got very unsettled conditions up in the north and extending through central areas. We're going to pull down a northerly wind into France and central parts of the Mediterranean. That will cool things off a lot, I think, over next weekend. This ridge of high pressure trying to come in from the Atlantic, but its next area of low pressure is waiting in the Atlantic near Iceland, and we've got more low pressure sitting over Scandinavia as well, but warmth will probably be on the eastern side of Europe once again. The upper air temperature showing the warmth extending from the Med through into the east and the southeast of Europe, but many central and western areas are going to be quite cool and cooling down through France, Spain, Portugal into the central Mediterranean as well. Precipitation, we've got quite a bit of snow I think coming up for next weekend across Scandinavia. There will be some heavy snow around in places. More like rain coming down through France into more central parts of the Mediterranean. Over the Alps, of course, it'll be snow, but more likely rain through France, down into central Med and into Italy. It's briefly drier for Ireland and the United Kingdom, but this next area of wet weather will be moving in. The driest, warmest weather will be over into the east and the southeast of Europe next weekend. So yeah, that's where the highest temperatures are, extending through Italy in towards the Adriatic and on into southeast Europe. Temperatures could be up to 22 or 23 degrees around the Balkans. That's very warm for the 10th of November. Otherwise, though, many central, northern and western areas, quite cold. Temperatures just struggling to get into double figures, 8, 9, 10 degrees at best for much of France, Germany, Denmark, Low Countries, United Kingdom, Ireland. And it's even colder than that up over Scandinavia, where there will be some snow falling. So it's a much more unsettled week this week across much of the continent. And I should say it's much more autumnal this week across much of the continent. It's staying very unsettled, but much more autumnal. The temperatures are back where they should be now in many parts of the continent. The south and the southeast getting the warmest of weather through the Med into the east and the southeast of Europe, but really many parts now firmly in autumnal type temperatures, just struggling to get into double figures, and lots of unsettled weather to come with the chance of some heavy snow up over Scandinavia at times. So proper autumn now. That's it for now. Remember, there's no European Outlook next week. It'll be returning on Monday the 18th of November. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.